Are you preparing for the AWS Cloud Practitioner exam in 2025? You have come to the right place. In this video, we have compiled the latest AWS Cloud Practitioner exam questions with detailed explanations to help you pass the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner certification on your first attempt. Whether you are a beginner or looking to renew your certification, these real world questions will boost your confidence and get your exam ready. For the complete series, you can check our playlist. Stay tuned till the end to download the free AWS Cloud Practitioner PDF and practice test.
A financial services company wants to ensure that its AWS account activity meets the governance, compliance, and auditing norms. As a cloud practitioner, which AWS service would you recommend for this use case? The options are CloudWatch, B, Config C, Trusted Advisor, D, CloudTrail. Correct answer is CloudTrail. The most suitable AWS service for ensuring governance, compliance, and auditing of AWS account activity is CloudTrail. Logging and auditing. CloudTrail records all API calls made to your AWS account, providing a detailed log of all actions performed. This enables you to track and audit resource changes, identify security incidents, and ensure compliance with regulations. Governance. CloudTrail can be used to enforce governance policies by analyzing user activity and identifying deviations from established standards. You can set up alerts and notifications to be notified of any suspicious or non-compliant activities. Compliance. CloudTrail logs can be used to demonstrate compliance with various industry standards and regulations, such as HIPAA, PCI DSS, and GDPR. You can use CloudTrail to track access to sensitive data, monitor user activity, and ensure that your AWS account is configured according to compliance requirements. While CloudWatch, Config, and Trusted Advisor are useful for monitoring and resource optimization, CloudTrail is purpose-built for logging and auditing, making it the best fit for this scenario. A startup wants to migrate its data and applications from the on-premises data center to AWS Cloud. Which of the following options can be used by the startup to help with this migration? Select 2. The options are A. Use AWS Trusted Advisor to automate the infrastructure migration. B. Leverage AWS Professional Services and set up AWS Landing Zone to accelerate the infrastructure migration. C. Consult moderators on AWS developer forums. D. Raise a support ticket with AWS support for further assistance. E. Utilize AWS Partner Network, AP build a custom solution for this infrastructure migration. Correct answers are B and E. Leverage AWS Professional Services and set up AWS Landing Zone to accelerate the infrastructure migration. AWS Professional Services is a team of experts that helps customers migrate workloads to AWS quickly and securely. AWS Landing Zone helps set up a secure, multi-account environment based on AWS best practices, accelerating migration by providing a ready-to-use foundation. Utilize AWS Partner Network, APN, to build a custom solution for this infrastructure migration. The AWS Partner Network connects you with trusted consulting and technology partners who specialize in helping businesses migrate to AWS. These partners provide tailored solutions to meet your specific infrastructure needs. Why the other options are incorrect. A. AWS Trusted Advisor is a guidance tool for cost optimization, performance, and security, not a migration automation tool. C. AWS developer forums are useful for community discussions, not official support or migration planning. D. AWS support helps with troubleshooting and general guidance, but is not responsible for large-scale infrastructure migrations. A multinational corporation wants to get expert professional advice on migrating to AWS and managing their applications on AWS Cloud. Which of the following entities would you recommend for this engagement? The options are A. APN Technology Partner, B. Concierge Support Team, C. APN Consulting Partner, D. AWS Trusted Advisor. Correct answer is C. APN Consulting Partner. APN, AWS Partner Network, consulting partners are professional service firms certified by AWS. They specialize in helping customers design, architect, build, migrate, and manage workloads on AWS Cloud. These partners provide hands-on expertise tailored to enterprise-scale needs, making them the best choice for a multinational corporation seeking expert advice on AWS migration and application management. Why the other options are incorrect. A. APN Technology Partner. These partners provide software or hardware solutions that integrate with AWS, but they do not typically assist with migration or management of applications on AWS. B. Concierge Support Team. This team helps with billing and account-related inquiries only. They do not offer migration or architectural advice. D. AWS Trusted Advisor. Trusted Advisor is an online tool that gives recommendations for security, cost optimization, and performance, but it does not provide hands-on migration support or manage applications. Which of the following is correct regarding removing an AWS account from AWS organizations? The options are: A. Raise a support ticket with AWS support to remove the account. B. The AWS account must be able to operate as a standalone account. Only then it can be removed from AWS organizations. C. The AWS account can be removed from AWS Systems Manager. D. The AWS account must not have any service control policies, SCPs, attached to it. Only then it can be removed from AWS organizations. Correct answer is B. The AWS account must be able to operate as a standalone account. Only then it can be removed from AWS organizations. You can remove an account from your organization only if the account has the information that is required for it to operate as a standalone account. For each account that you want to make standalone, you must accept the AWS customer agreement, choose a support plan, provide and verify the required contact information, and provide a current payment method. AWS uses the payment method to charge for any billable, not AWS free tier, AWS activity that occurs while the account isn't attached to an organization. Incorrect options: raise a support ticket with AWS support to remove the account. AWS support does not need to help you in removing an AWS account from AWS organizations. The AWS account can be removed from AWS Systems Manager. AWS Systems Manager gives you visibility and control of your infrastructure on AWS. Systems Manager provides a unified user interface so you can view operational data from multiple AWS services and allows you to automate operational tasks, such as running commands, managing patches, and configuring servers across AWS Cloud, as well as on-premises infrastructure. Systems Manager cannot be used to remove an AWS account from AWS organizations. The AWS account must not have any service control policies, SCPs, attached to it. Only then it can be removed from AWS organizations. This is not a prerequisite to remove the AWS account. The principals in the AWS account are no longer affected by any service control policies, SCPs, that were defined in the organization. This means that restrictions imposed by those SCPs are gone, and the users and roles in the account might have more permissions than they had before. As per AWS Shared Responsibility Model, which of the following is a responsibility of the customer from a security and compliance point of view? The options are: A. Edge location management and maintenance. B. Patching fixing flaws within the AWS infrastructure. C. Availability zone infrastructure management. D. Manage Elastic Block Store EBS. Backups using EBS snapshots. The correct answer is Elastic Block Store backups using EBS snapshots. Security and compliance is a shared responsibility between AWS and the customer. This shared model can help relieve the customer's operational burden as AWS operates, manages, and controls the components from the host operating system and virtualization layer down to the physical security of the facilities in which the service operates. AWS is responsible for security of the cloud, and the customer is responsible for security in the cloud. Customers are responsible for managing their data, including encryption options, classifying their assets, and using IAM tools to apply the appropriate permissions. Creating a backup for EBS volumes is the responsibility of the customer. Incorrect options: edge location management and maintenance, availability zone infrastructure management, patching, fixing flaws within the AWS infrastructure. AWS is responsible for protecting the infrastructure that runs all of the services offered in the AWS cloud. This infrastructure is composed of the hardware, software, networking, and facilities that run AWS cloud services. Therefore, these three options fall under the ambit of AWS as per the shared responsibility model. A unicorn startup is building an analytics application with support for a speech-based interface. The application will accept speech-based input from users and then convey results via speech. As a cloud practitioner, which solution would you recommend for the given use case? The options are: A. Use Amazon Transcribe to convert speech to text for downstream analysis. Then use Amazon Poly to convey the text results via speech. B. Use Amazon Polly to convert speech to text for downstream analysis. Then use Amazon Transcribe to convey the text results via speech C. Use Amazon Translate to convert speech to text for downstream analysis. Then use Amazon Polly to convey the text results via speech D. Use Amazon Polly to convert speech to text for downstream analysis. Then use Amazon Translate to convey the text results via speech. The correct answer is A. Use Amazon Transcribe to convert speech to text for downstream analysis. Then use Amazon Polly to convey the text results via speech. You can use Amazon Transcribe to add speech-to-text capability to your applications. Amazon Transcribe uses a deep learning process called automatic speech recognition, ASR, to convert speech to text quickly and accurately. Amazon Transcribe can be used to transcribe customer service calls, to automate closed captioning and subtitling, and to generate metadata for media assets. You can use Amazon Polly to turn text into lifelike speech, thereby allowing you to create applications that talk. Polly's text-to-speech TTS service uses advanced deep learning technologies to synthesize natural-sounding human speech. Amazon Polly benefits. Amazon Translate is used for language translation. Amazon Translate uses neural machine translation via deep learning models to deliver more accurate and more natural-sounding translation than traditional statistical and rule-based translation algorithms. Incorrect options. Use Amazon Polly to convert speech to text for downstream analysis. Then use Amazon Transcribe to convey the text results via speech. Amazon Polly cannot be used to convert speech to text, so this option is incorrect. Use Amazon Translate to convert speech to text for downstream analysis. Then use Amazon Polly to convey the text results via speech. Amazon Translate cannot convert speech to text, so this option is incorrect. Use Amazon Polly to convert speech to text for downstream analysis. Then use Amazon Translate to convey the text results via speech. Amazon Polly cannot be used to convert speech to text, so this option is incorrect. Which of the following are correct statements regarding the AWS global infrastructure? Select 2. The options are A. Each AWS region consists of 2 or more availability zones. B. Each availability zone consists of 2 or more discrete data centers. C. Each availability zone consists of 1 or more discrete data centers. Each AWS region consists of 2 or more edge locations. E. Each AWS region consists of 1 or more availability zones. The correct answer is A and C. Each AWS region consists of 2 or more availability zones. Each availability zone, AZ, consists of 1 or more discrete data centers. AWS has the concept of a region, which is a physical location around the world where AWS clusters data centers. Each AWS region consists of multiple, 2 or more, isolated and physically separate AZs within a geographic area. Each AZ has independent power, cooling, and physical security, and is connected via redundant, ultra-low latency networks. An availability zone, AZ, is 1 or more discrete data centers with redundant power, networking, and connectivity in an AWS region. All AZs in an AWS region are interconnected with high bandwidth, low latency networking over fully redundant, dedicated metro fiber, providing high throughput, low latency networking between AZs. Incorrect options. Each AWS region consists of 1 or more availability zones. Each availability zone, AZ, consists of 2 or more discrete data centers. Each AWS region consists of 2 or more edge locations. These 3 options contradict the details provided earlier in the explanation, so these options are incorrect. Which AWS services can be used to decouple components of a microservices-based application on AWS Cloud? Select 2. The options are A. Step function, B. EC2, C. Lambda, D. SQS, E. SNS. The correct answer is D and E. Correct option, SQS. Amazon Simple Queue Service. SQS is a fully managed message queuing service that enables you to decouple and scale microservices, distributed systems, and serverless applications. Using SQS, you can send, store, and receive messages between software components at any volume without losing messages or requiring other services to be available. SNS. Amazon Simple Notification Service. SNS is a highly available, durable, secure, fully managed pub/sub messaging service that enables you to decouple microservices, distributed systems, and serverless applications. Using Amazon SNS topics, your publisher systems can fan out messages to a large number of subscriber endpoints for parallel processing, including Amazon SQS queues, AWS Lambda functions, and HTTPS webhooks. Additionally, SNS can be used to fan out notifications to end users using mobile push, SMS, and email. Therefore, both SNS and SQS can be used to decouple components of a microservices-based application. Incorrect options. EC2, Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. Amazon EC2 is a web service that provides secure, resizable compute capacity in the cloud with support for per-second billing. It is the easiest way to provision servers on AWS Cloud and access the underlying OS. EC2 cannot be used to decouple components of a microservices-based application. Lambda. AWS Lambda lets you run code without provisioning or managing servers. You pay only for the compute time you consume. Lambda cannot be used to decouple components of a microservices-based application. Step function. AWS Step Function lets you coordinate multiple AWS services into serverless workflows. You can design and run workflows that stitch together services such as AWS Lambda, AWS Glue, and Amazon SageMaker. Step function cannot be used to decouple components of a microservices-based application. Which AWS service will help you receive alerts when the reservation utilization falls below the defined threshold? The options are AWS Simple Monthly Calculator, B. AWS Budgets, C. AWS CloudTrail, D. AWS Trusted Advisor. The correct answer is B. AWS Budgets gives you the ability to set custom budgets that alert you when your costs or usage exceed or are forecasted to exceed your budgeted amount. You can also use AWS Budgets to set reservation utilization or coverage targets and receive alerts when your utilization drops below the threshold you define. Reservation alerts are supported for Amazon EC2, Amazon RDS, Amazon Redshift, Amazon Elasticache, and Amazon Elasticsearch reservations. Incorrect options. AWS Simple Monthly Calculator. The Simple Monthly Calculator provides an estimate of usage charges for AWS services based on certain information you provide. It helps customers and prospects estimate their monthly AWS bill more efficiently. You cannot use this service to receive alerts when the reservation utilization falls below the defined threshold. AWS CloudTrail. AWS CloudTrail is a service that enables governance, compliance, operational auditing, and risk auditing of your AWS account. With CloudTrail, you can log, continuously monitor, and retain account activity related to actions across your AWS infrastructure. CloudTrail provides event history of your AWS account activity, including actions taken through the AWS Management Console, AWS SDKs, command line tools, and other AWS services. You cannot use this service to receive alerts when the reservation utilization falls below the defined threshold. AWS Trusted Advisor. AWS Trusted Advisor is an online tool that provides real-time guidance to help provision your resources following AWS best practices. Whether establishing new workflows, developing applications, or as part of ongoing improvement, recommendations provided by Trusted Advisor regularly help keep your solutions provisioned optimally. AWS Trusted Advisor analyzes your AWS environment and provides best practice recommendations in 5 categories: cost optimization, performance, security, fault tolerance, service limits. Which of the following AWS services has encryption enabled by default? The options are A. Elastic Block Storage, EBS, B. CloudTrail Logs, C. Amazon S3, D. Elastic File Storage, EFS. The correct answer is B. AWS CloudTrail is a service that enables governance, compliance, operational auditing, and risk auditing of your AWS account. CloudTrail can be used to record AWS API calls and other activity for your AWS account, and save the recorded information to log files in an Amazon Simple Storage Service, Amazon S3 bucket that you choose. By default, the log files delivered by CloudTrail to your S3 bucket are encrypted using server-side encryption with Amazon S3 Managed Encryption Keys, SSE S3. Incorrect options: Elastic File Storage, EFS, Amazon Elastic File System, Amazon EFS. Provides a simple, scalable, fully managed Elastic NFS file system for use with AWS cloud services and on-premises resources. Amazon EFS supports 2 forms of encryption for file systems: encryption of data in transit and encryption at rest. This is an optional feature and has to be enabled by user if needed. Elastic Block Storage, EBS. Amazon Elastic Block Store, EBS, is an easy-to-use, high-performance block storage service designed for use with Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, EC2 instances for both throughput and transaction-intensive workloads at any scale. Encryption, at rest and during transit, is an optional feature for EBS and has to be enabled by the user. Amazon S3. Amazon Simple Storage Service is storage for the Internet. To upload data into S3, you need to create an S3 bucket in one of the AWS regions. Amazon S3 Default Encryption provides a way to set the default encryption behavior for an S3 bucket. Encryption for an S3 bucket is an additional feature, and the user needs to enable it.